Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to all my lovely regular viewers, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. So before I start the video today, I thought I would show you my new brush. So this is the first time that I've used a size 16 brush and I absolutely loved it. I really did. So I'm going to show you how I prep the brush and just what I love about this brush. As you can see, it comes with a cap. So it actually folds down or closes down to quite a small brush, and I just don't understand why some brushes don't come with a cap, because that's what keeps your the head of your brush soft. So sometimes, you know, even though we clean our brush out in monomer or we use a brush cleaner, sometimes, you know, if it's been left sitting for a day or so, whenever you go to use it, it does have that like a outer hardness, but as soon as you put it back into your monomer, it's okay. But this, having a cap, just keeps it really soft. So when I'm prepping the brush, you saw there that I was trying to get all of the glue out of the bristles, so you just keep flicking the bristles until you see that it's all clear. So I can see still a little bit of glue in my brush, so I'm just going to keep sort of fluffing it out just to make sure I get all those removed. Once I've done that, I'm going to dip it in and out of my monomer and wipe it a few times, and that shall be it, prepped and primed and ready to go. So that's my brush all ready to go. I'm keeping this part of the video in real time so you can see just how I'm applying the acrylic. The rest of the nails will be in a double speed, only because they're all done in exactly the same way, bar an extended nail bed. So I'm using my nail tips from @Nailed by Lucy. They are absolutely amazing, and of course the acrylic I'm using is from Glitterbels, and this is Peacherbel Cover. As I said at the start, this is the first time I've ever used a size 16 brush, so please bear with me because the acrylic does go a little bit funny and a little bit everywhere. I am using quite a large bead, and with the help of gravity and the belly of my brush, I'm going to just guide that acrylic down towards the free edge. So it is the first time I've used a size 16, and it really does pick up a good amount of product. So it is going to take me a little bit of getting used to. And as Peacherbel Cover is a core powder, I won't need to go in and cap the nail after. So I do need to make sure that I have enough acrylic to give me a good structured nail that I know it isn't going to break. So as you can see, all I'm doing is just using the belly of that brush just to bring that acrylic right down to the free edge. If I feel it starting to stick to my brush, I'll go in and just pick up a little bit of monomer like I'm doing now, and that will just help keep it soft until I get it right to the free edge. Now that I've got it right at the free edge, I'm going to use this side of my brush just to pat across the free edge and to cut the acrylic off, and then just use the tip of the brush just to take it away. I definitely think once I got that bulk part of acrylic to come back into the center of the nail tip, I had pretty good control of it. So far I am absolutely loving working with this size 16 brush. So the next bead that I'm going to go in is going to be my cuticle and my apex bead. So even on the little finger, I'm still going to place quite a fairly large bead as well, because I really only want to do this nail on with 2 beads of acrylic. In with that cuticle bead now, and I'm going to place it on the nail. I'm going to hold it there for a second or two and then just let gravity do its thing, pointing my nail downwards, and then I will pat it into around that cuticle area away from the sidewalls and then blend it into the rest of that acrylic. So I have done the majority of the nail in 2 beads, but if you look just at the very left hand corner of that free edge, it just didn't cover it enough. So I am just going to put a tiny bead of acrylic just on the free edge to cover that. But all in all, I'm quite chuffed with myself being able to do that in two beads. Yeah. Moving on now to the ring finger, and this is going to be an extended nail bed. So instead of doing a smile line, I'm going to cut this out into a chevron. So I'm placing quite a large bead of the acrylic, and then I'm just going to use the belly of that brush to guide it down to where I want to do the cut off. And then once it starts to mattify, I'll go in with my little craft knife and cut out the chevron. So now that it's started to mattify, I'm going in with that little craft knife. I'm not worrying too much about this being really straight, you know, these cuts being really straight, because I will go in with my hand file and just make sure that they're really sharp and crisp. In now with my next bead of acrylic, and this is going to be my apex bead, but I'm also bringing it right down to the very tip of that chevron, just so that I have a high enough wall whenever I place my Snowdrops White up against it. It's still going to stay nice and crisp. And then the next bead I'll go in with will be my cuticle bead, and the bead that will give me the strength and structure of the nail bed area on this nail. So moving on now to the middle finger, and this is going to be a full coverage of the Peacherbel cover, as is the pointer finger and the thumb. So I'm going to go ahead and let you watch me apply the acrylic on this one, and I will come back once that's done. So that is the rest of the acrylic on all the other fingers, and I'm back on the ring finger and that chevron. So I'm just taking my Glitterbels metal board file and I'm just going to make sure those edges are really straight and that point is really sharp. So when I go in with my Snowdrops White, I'm going to get a really nice crisp finish. So this is the bit I love, especially if it's a new client. It's really bad though, because I literally whack on the white, and if they're a new client and they see me just like put the white on like this, they're like, oh, you can actually see them physically. You can see the fear in their eyes whenever they're thinking in their head, is she going to leave my nails like that? But yeah, I just whack it on. I do it really messy. Just make sure that all the area that I need that acrylic to be in is completely covered. And then once it's completely cured, I'll go in with my e-file and crisp it up so they've got a lovely French chevron nail. To keep the length of the video down, I have went ahead and I have filed and shaped all the nails off camera, and I'm just giving them a wipe around with some alcohol just to make sure that there's no dust and debris on the nails before I go ahead and start any of my nail art. Onto the pointer finger now, and I'm going to in with my CJP gripper glue. I normally don't use the glue anymore when I'm applying rhinestones, especially if there's a lot of them. I always use my rhinestone glue, but because this is just a single stone, I thought I would go ahead and use the CJP gripper glue. So around this stone, I'm going to place some acrylic and make it into a nice 3D flower. So when you are doing a 3D flower on a nail or any 3D acrylic work, the bead that you pick up before you place it on the nail, it must be nice and glossy. If it's not, it's going to slide all over the nail. So make sure that even before you put it on the nail, that it's glossy. Once you have it on the nail, use the belly of your brush just to spread that acrylic out into the leaf shape or the petal shape, and then just use the tip of your brush if you're going to bring it into a point. Now that I've got the larger petals done, I'm going to go ahead and place 3 smaller petals just around that opal crystal that I placed on the nail. Just to finish off this nail, I'm going to go ahead and place some caviar beads around the opal crystal. So I went in with my CJP gripper glue, but the heat of my little room is quite warm, so I'm going to go ahead and bring in my rhinestone glue just to get them all in place because the glue is just drying way too quick. On now to the middle finger, and I'm going to do some fluffy clouds. So I use my dotting tool and just dip it into my white gel paint and oh dear, look, it came with it. I'm gonna have to glue that back in. So yeah, I'm just placing different size dots just in the cloud shape, and then I'll go in with my flat gel brush and I'll just feather it out until it looks really, really fluffy. So now that I'm happy with the clouds, I'm going to go ahead and cure them or flash cure them with my little LED torch, and then I'll get started on the hand painted Chanel logo. So to do the CC logo, I'm starting out, I'm using my Glitterbels fine detailer brush, and I'm starting out by doing the first C, which is like the back to front C as I call it. Again, I do mess this one up, so I do wipe it off and redo it for you. But I've kept it in the video because I mean, I still make mistakes. Nobody's perfect, but I do always like to let you see the mistakes that I make. Once I'm happy with the first C, I'm going to flash cure that so that whenever I'm doing the overlapping other C, it doesn't smudge the work that I've already done. So before I move on with the little Chanel logo stickers, I'm going to go ahead and flash cure the CC logo because I have a habit of smudging things. So now that I've done all the nail art and the stickers, I'm going to go ahead and seal it all with a matte top coat. So I love nude nails, especially if they're matte. So the matte top coat I'm using is from Nail Perfection and it's their Velvet Matte Top Coat. So on the ring finger, over that French chevron, I did put this glitter, but I really didn't like it. I think it just was totally out of place. So I buff it all off and I go in then on the little pinky finger and put some pixie crystals. And to do that, I use my Halo Thick Top Coat. You know, I should learn from my mistakes that as soon as I finish with something, put whatever came out of it back in, because I had just visions of those pixie crystals going everywhere. So once they're on the nail, I just pat them and press them into that thick gel, and then I'll go ahead and cure them in my LED lamp. So all that's left to do now is to buff away all of that glitter and bring it back to just the normal French chevron. And then just to finish it off, I'll go in with some of the white opal crystals in different sizes, and that will be the set finished. And as always with every nail service, I always end by applying some cuticle oil. So here is the finished set, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, you know what to do. Give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, you could go ahead, help support my channel by hitting that subscribe button now. And I will be back with another video. So take care. See you soon. Bye.